Hello, my name is Jennifer Covell, and I am president of the Tufts University Alumni Association. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2020 Alumni Awards ceremony. This year, while we are holding a virtual ceremony due to safety guidelines surrounding the COVID pandemic, we hope all of you are staying healthy and safe. To make the most of this online experience, please type comments into the panel to the right of your screen. These will scroll during the event and provide a great way to connect with all of us who are joining as we watch the ceremony together. I'd like to welcome the honorees, their family and friends, fellow alumni, and others from the Tufts community. Welcome also to President Monaco. The Alumni Awards were established in 1941 to celebrate the achievements, service, and dedication of truly extraordinary Tufts alumni. Thank you to the Awards Committee of the Alumni Council for your work in selecting this year's honorees, and to the committee co-chairs, Maria Madison, Peter Broder, and Peter Bronk, for your leadership of this committee. Thank you to the many nominators who throw a spotlight on the amazing work of our alumni. Nominations are accepted year-round, so please continue to let us know if you have a candidate in mind who should be considered for an award. This year's honorees, whose names are listed on the screen, representing many schools and departments at Tufts, are leaders in various industries. Their work has touched the lives of many. They've got wonderful stories to share, so I encourage you to follow up with them after this event. One way to stay in touch with your fellow Jumbos is by updating your profile in the Tufts Alumni Directory. I strongly encourage you to do so. It is now my pleasure to introduce Anthony Monaco, the 13th president of Tufts University. As you may know, Tony joined Tufts in 2011, coming from Oxford University, where he was a top administrative leader, the pro-vice chancellor for planning and resources. Tony also has had a distinguished career in the sciences. A graduate of Princeton University and Harvard Medical School, he has led the pathway of innovation in using genetics to help unravel diseases such as muscular dystrophy and autism. Thank you, Tony, for being with us.
Thank you for logging on as we recognize these extraordinary honorees and celebrate with their families and friends, our alumni leaders, and other members of the Tufts community. We are proud of the many achievements of this year's honorees, and we know they could not have done it alone. To our faculty and staff, I'd like to recognize the invaluable role you play. The support you provide extends beyond our alumni honorees to our current students and future Jumbos, so thank you. I am also grateful to the Alumni Association for sponsoring this important program. The association has been recognizing outstanding alumni at Tufts each year since 1941. The members of the awards committee spent many hours reviewing nominations and selecting these outstanding alumni. Thanks to all of them, and to Maria Madison, Peter Brodor, and Peter Bronk for their leadership of the committee. The pool of nominees has remained extremely competitive over the years. Thank you, nominators, for your time and effort in putting forth such impressive candidates, and thanks to those who submitted letters of support. This year's honorees have demonstrated outstanding leadership in their career fields, service in their communities, and service to the university. They are a remarkable group, representing Tufts at its very best. To our honorees, congratulations to all of you. We know that as you continue in your work, you will accomplish much, and we will continue to follow your careers with great interest. I look forward to welcoming you back to the Hill when the pandemic is over. Thanks again for joining us to celebrate these outstanding alumni.
Cynthia Valianti Corbett. As a native of Marlborough, Massachusetts, now living in Wimbledon, London, you obtained an MA from the Fletcher School and also led the Fletcher Club of New York and started the Fletcher Club of London. Currently, you direct the Cynthia Corbett Gallery, an international contemporary art gallery with an annual exhibition program that exhibits at contemporary art fairs. You had a high-profile career as an international economist specializing in emerging markets, and was the architect and founder of the debt conversion plans for most of sub-Saharan Africa in the 1980s. During that time, You were a regular commentator in the financial broadsheets in both New York and London. You then trained as an art historian, Christie's Education, before launching your gallery. Identifying trends and supporting fledgling careers of emerging artists and markets led to the launch of the Young Masters Art Prize, a not-for-profit competition open to international and UK-based artists that celebrates artistic skill and innovation with awareness of the old masters and the art of the past. You work closely with the School of the Museum of Fine Arts. On behalf of the Tufts University Alumni Association, my honor to bestow upon you the Tufts University Alumni Association's Service Citation for all that you have done and continue to do for Tufts and the larger community. Congratulations.
Greetings. My name is Cynthia Valianti Corbett, a proud graduate of the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy in 1978. When I was so thrilled to get the announcement that I was a candidate for this award, the Alumni Service Citation 2020 Tufts University Award, I was absolutely thrilled. I cannot say how much I loved my time at the Fletcher School. It was actually interesting for me because I was born and raised in Massachusetts and really did not live that far from Bedford, Massachusetts, but didn't know about the world of Fletcher and Tufts. And I was so privileged to be able to study there after my time at the University of Massachusetts, studying political science, living and working in Europe, and then embarking on my adventure at Tufts and Fletcher to study international relations. I'd always loved foreign affairs and the history of the world. And when I embarked at Fletcher, I thought I would possibly become a diplomat or work at the World Bank. I wasn't really sure. But I had a very great experience with a professor called Professor Barnes, who I really adored. And he said to me very early on, I think you'd be great in business. I said, oh, okay, well, what do I do? And he said, well, in the second year while you're at Fletcher, you could take some courses at Harvard Business School, which is what I did. So the influence of Professor Barnes has stayed with me to this day. And it was wonderful being able to be at a place like Tufts, so, safe. And I felt really good there. And then kind of go out to Harvard, which was a lot bigger, and put myself into quite an uncomfortable position at Harvard Business School. It was very, very tough, differently tough than the academic rigor of Fletcher. Well, my journey was interesting because after Fletcher, I worked first for an international commodities company, and then for RCA, and then for Citibank, where I embarked on an incredible adventure of working all over the world, and it landed up in London, where I was responsible for various African debt issues, and worked here, lived here, met my English husband, and then decided that after our daughter we were fortunate to have a daughter, and by the time she was 8, the traveling was very difficult. I have to say I loved it, and I loved being in a different country practically every week and learning about the culture and making a difference to the economic world. But I also always loved art and art history. So I decided to do a postgrad in art history and take a leap and try to open an art gallery, which I did in 2004. I have to say, diplomatic skills do come in very handy in the art world. And it is such an international place. So the journey that I embarked on all those years ago in 1978 to now has really been such a wonderful, wonderful professional life. And what is very interesting, I want to just say one quick thing about my not-for-profit that I set up in 2009 called Young Masters. And the circle kind of completes because I was fortunate enough to meet President Monaco in 2016, 17. And this coincided with Tufts acquiring the School of Museum of Fine Art. And I made a marketing outreach to the School of Museum of Fine Art about my Young Master program. And not only did some of the alumni and students apply, 2 of them won. And my prize is totally objective. It has a panel of judges. I don't judge. But it's a great reflection on the quality of the university and the quality of its students. And 2 of the winners, one, Azita Murakani, is Iranian, expat in America, and the other is Tamar Almashuk, an expat here in the UK from Saudi Arabia. So how international is that? Well, I wish I could be with you all personally and really talk to you and see you, but I'm sure that after we get through the challenges that we face right now in 2020 and 2021, we will all be together in the Fletcher and Tufts family again. And I just thank you so much for this incredible award. It means the world to me.
On behalf of the Tufts University Alumni Association, I want to thank you for joining us for the 2020 Alumni Awards ceremony. We are tremendously impressed by the achievements and passions of our honorees, and we are proud to have you among our ranks. Congratulations to the award recipients, and thank you so much for attending. Have a great day.